Okay, so why do I hate to travel by Flixbus so much? I had the worst experience of my life traveling to Amsterdam by Flixbus. It was terrible, and I'm going to get into it, so stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, Flixbus is a company for intercity buses, mainly operating in West Europe. So basically, a lot of people use the Flixbus when traveling through Europe because it's very, very cheap and affordable for students mainly. It's just a great way to get around Europe, or so I thought. For this particular story, I'm going to take you back 5 years ago when a friend and I wanted to go to Amsterdam by using Flixbus. So we wake up at about 4, we're at the station at 5 o'clock in the morning. The bus is going to come in 20 minutes and the bus is not coming. We're waiting, trying to call the Flixbus. Nobody's reachable, they're not replying, it's super early, it's cold, it's just overall not a nice experience. But then above that, there is a creepy guy also standing amongst the other passengers. He looks like a passenger, obviously he had a suitcase, but he was very nervous, like more nervous than us all. Like, I mean, probably everyone was a bit like angry about the fact that the Flixbus wasn't giving any updates and was being late. But at the same time, there was this guy who was just like really, really nervous. He's just behaving like very weird. So all of a sudden, he's like, okay, he needs a cigarette, I don't know. Somehow he makes clear like he wants a cigarette, so somebody gives him a cigarette, right? Let me get a lighter. So this guy, who's already stressed out, has a cigarette in his mouth and he asks for a lighter, right? So the person handing over is like lighting it up for him. But the guy was so nervous, he was like moving around left and right, that his cigarette didn't even start to burn because he was moving too much, like it didn't work. So he was like, can I have the lighter? Okay, so the guy handed over the lighter to him and he went like this to turn on his cigarette, okay? But he didn't only turn on his cigarette, he probably had been drinking a lot and he turned on fire on his arm. So his whole arm was starting to catch fire, at least. It was like he had a pullover and it was probably like wet from the alcohol, we don't know. So it starts catching fire and instead of like a normal human being getting out of a fucking pullover and throwing it on the ground, he was looking at his arm and he was laughing out loud. So he puts his arm in the air and he's like laughing with his arm burning and he's like ha ha ha, looking at himself, and everyone was extremely creeped out, I must say. Like, I was a bit scared, but my friend was like, okay, this guy is clearly not okay in his head. We should go over to him and like get him out of this jacket before he's burning himself too much. Like he doesn't feel it, but it's obviously not okay. So my friend is getting over to him, trying to like talk to him. The guy doesn't speak any of the languages we speak or my friends speak. Impossible to talk to him. So my friend starts like taking off the pullover of this random dude. Finally, he gets his pullover off of him. So the guy understands it and starts jumping like a crazy guy on this pullover, like on the fire, starts to jump on it. And then he runs away. Then he comes back. He opens his suitcase, okay? He takes out a cute little teddy bear. And then he puts his teddy bear on fire, runs away, because his teddy bear was probably also full with alcohol. I don't know how it caught that much fire. He started running away and he threw his teddy bear in our direction, ran away as fast as he could. In the meanwhile, firefighters were called, an ambulance was called, and the guy was gone. So I guess they were already over on his side, and we were hoping that the guy would not come back and that the people would find him and take care of him so that he calms down a little bit. But it was super spooky because we were still like half asleep when this happened, and it was just like crazy, hoping that the Flixbus would finally come. And then the Flixbus would come. I think the Flixbus was like 2 hours and 45 minutes late. And so if I remember it correctly, it was only after 3 hours that you get a refund of your ticket or the start of a refund. So we didn't get any refund at all. We did get entertainment, I guess. But I would have been happy not having received this entertainment. I would prefer entertaining myself in Amsterdam instead of on the parking lot of a station in the middle of the night. But okay. So that was basically my experience. We arrived in Amsterdam, everything was great. And yeah, no, I mean, on the ride we even met a girl who was very friendly and we hung out with her during the day in Amsterdam. But I don't know, the story was too much of a horror story to me. So I didn't want to take the Flixbus after that anymore. Until this year, basically, I wanted to go to Berlin. And as I said, the Flixbus is just a great way to travel affordably. So I wanted to go to Berlin. Didn't want to take the Flixbus though, so I took the Flixtrain, which is new, which is great. I was like, okay, Flixtrain, there will be like a train station. I prefer being in the train station than waiting on a parking lot of a train station. So 2 days ahead of time, the Flixtrain was cancelled. Of course, what else? So the Flixtrain was cancelled and I had to book a Flixbus. I went on a bus, it was okay. To go back, I took the Flixtrain, which I enjoyed more, I must say. So yeah, basically I wouldn't recommend Flixbus so much, only if you're really on a budget and you have no other choice. I don't find it reliable and I just had a very bad experience with it, which you just heard. So yeah, I'm also wondering if you had some crazy experiences by traveling on the Flixbus. I talked about the story already to my friends and they also had their stories to share. So I'm pretty sure you have some crazy stories as well, or some experiences you heard from other people. So if you want to share this with me, I would be happy to read them as well, so that I feel less alone. So write them in the comments below. And if you have any other suggestions or questions about travel-related topics, or traveling sustainably, or like learning languages, which are topics of my interest, then let them know in the comments below as well. I would love to read them as well and I will reply to all of your comments. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can do this by subscribing to my channel and leaving a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching this and I will see you in the next one. Take care.